Okay, so we're continuing with our journey of developing commentary drive skills and continuing to look even further down the road. Okay, heading out into the road. Ahead, we've seen a little bit going on up there. We put our signal on to tell people what we're going to do. We're going around the road to the left so we can just see what's going on ahead of us. We really need a plan ahead of us. We know that it's clear ahead, watching for people turning out from the side over there and looking here behind, ahead, behind and ahead. Car coming from the left there, right there. Pedestrian on the left, car turning in. Just being really slow with all of these. Okay. All right, down here we're going to turn left. So, importantly, we're looking where we're going first. We already know there's a give way point here in the slip lane and we could be giving way to pedestrians. Bit of a look for the traffic, but importantly looking down the road, it's clear down the road and now we can go. But we already know where the lane is. We already know where we're going to finish the turn, and I'd already looked all the way past this 60 sign before I even started turning into the road. Looking ahead in the distance, we can see a car disappearing over the hill. Cars coming the other way. We can see where the road goes. We're staying under 60 in the 60 zone. We see the 80 sign in the distance down there. Beyond the 80 sign, we're starting to see the steep downhill signs. Can't read it yet, but we know what that symbol means. Staying under 60 till after the sign. We've also got a big white sign ahead that's talking about the fact that trucks should be using low gear. Looking around the bend into the distance. Picking up our speed now, but not increasing the speed too much. Kangaroos are likely to be in the area. Looking well round the bend, as far as we can see. Applying the brakes a little bit, recognising it's a long downhill run, and actually going to change this auto car down a gear. So now we've got a little bit of engine braking effect happening to help us control the speed down this long and steep downhill run. We've talked about engine braking before in other tasks, but that was trying to keep very slow. Today we're trying to stay under 80 down this hill, keeping the car controlled, but importantly we're looking as far as we can see around the bend. Little glances behind in the end, but as far as we can see around the bend, and then back about halfway around. The engine is revving a little bit more, but it's helping us control the speed. Looking as far as we can see around the bend. Vehicle behind us is now starting to do a lane change out round us. We're staying under 80, only requiring a few gentle applications of the brake every now and again. Looking into the distance, the road sweeps around to the left. Car behind us is starting to come down beside. That's all good. So the road we're looking as far as we can see around the bend. Yep, car behind us is starting to come down beside. 60 sign. So we're slowing, getting ready to be under 60 before the sign and slow anybody behind us to the same thing. There we are, we're under 60 before the sign, still using engine braking to keep the car slower. Red light in the distance and slow truck. Also bus. Traffic possibly entering the intersections from the side, watching where they might turn in. Cars merging in the distance, 60 k's continuing. Looking at these because we're dealing with the now, because we already know about the next. Okay, yellow sign telling those people that their lane is ending. Yellow car coming around from the side here. Just going to pick up a tiny bit of speed, let him come in behind. The bus is slowing and stopping. The bus will be in our way. So we're planning to a lane change to the right. But if we hadn't been watching the bus, we wouldn't know. Little blind spot before we move across. Watching for side traffic out round the bus. Looking at the traffic lights in the distance, it's still green, could change. And beyond it, we know what's going on there. Now back to the now, then into the distance, 60 continuing. Major intersection further down. How do we know it's a major intersection? Because there's a large green sign telling us about it. We want to go straight at that intersection down there. So we need to get back to the left lane. If we were to go into that left lane ahead of that truck, what would happen is it would be getting the left lane and then braking for the lights in that truck's already very likely pre-planned stopping distance. Continuing to slow, easing back. We're going to stop at the red light anyway, so there's no point in worrying about continuing quicker. And fire station is telling us that we need to be ready to let fire trucks out of here. There is some flashing lights here that could go yellow and then flashing red. But can we fit all the way across this keep clear zone? We're waiting to see if the truck moves all the way across. Then we can see there's definitely room for us the other side of that. So then we're going to move across as well. This lane can continue straight or turn. So we're sitting in behind here looking into the distance. I can see a roundabout down there. So I already know that beyond this intersection, 2 lanes continue and there's a roundabout down there. If I hadn't looked at that from way back before I got anywhere near this truck, I wouldn't have any idea what's happening in front. Letting the truck drive away from us, knowing what we're driving into already, checking that the intersection is safe, and then entering. There's our 2 lanes continuing, entering a 50k zone, and there's the roundabout we already spoke about. So we're slowing a little. Beyond the roundabout, there's a yellow sign telling us that there's a merge there. It's a warning sign letting us know that a merge is coming. So already, we're just slowing, seeing what's going on. We're good. 2 lanes continuing. There's our merge that we spoke about. There's our warning sign telling us what's going on at this combination situation. And the form 1 lane sign saying people have to merge with us. Looking and checking, no one coming down along the side of us. We're staying in our line of traffic. The others are joining us. So we chose not to signal in that time there. Don't want anyone to think we would turn left. Side streets along here, following and maintaining and keeping our gap. 50k's continuing. Ute coming out from the side. We're going to let him do that. Ute coming from the side there, car waiting to come out from the side road, likely to turn out. They have chosen not to, but we've been covering the brake until we knew that. All right, picking up our speed a little bit now that we know that danger is over. Into the distance, far down the road, I am seeing a warning sign telling me about a sharp bend to the left. Coming up to speed, but now coming back to deal with this front situation here, where the immediate situation is this intersection. Someone could turn there, that guy could turn out from the side. Turns out he didn't. I'm staying left of this island with the keep left sign telling me which side to stay. All right, so there's our bend we spoke about. We knew it was coming, giving us a detail of 35k an hour, recommended speed, to make sure we take the bend safely, but also could stop within the distance we could see. We're looking down the straight, we've seen the van, looking at the distance, we're seeing 50k signs and a warning sign down there telling us that there's likely to be vulnerable pedestrians. What's the van going to do? We don't know. We're staying slow until we do. On we go. Car from the side could come out. Vulnerable pedestrians likely to be in the area. This car is going to turn out, is what we should believe. So we're just covering the brake until we know. We're good, carry on. Pedestrian on the other side staying well out of the way. Now roundabout in the distance is our next. Side street is our now. Continuing to look down the road here. Don't need any engine braking anymore because we've now on flat level ground. Planning and expecting to stop at the roundabout. Expecting to stop, braking as if we're going to stop. The road continues beyond it. 50k zone continues now, back to deal with the now. Empty road, no one coming from the left. Signal to the left to tell people out there we're leaving and staying in our space within the road, leaving room for the cyclists on the left. Another car could turn out from here, or this guy could suddenly turn in. All right, next, roundabout in the distance. Big green signs helping us understand it's a fairly big one. Watching for vehicles coming from the side road or pedestrians that may be moved to and waiting in the center island. All right, planning to give way at the roundabout. Looking beyond the roundabout, we can see a truck parked in the distance. So we know to deal with that down there. Now we're coming back to the now. All right, slowing, working on how we're going to fit in with these people. Away we go. And left. Having looked down the road where we're going, we see a merge immediately. Turns out it wasn't a parked truck, it's moved off again. Looking and checking, blind spot to move across, take up our position in the merge, Road continuing at 50, keeping a good space on the motorcycle. Side streets here, 50k road, possible pedestrian would come across. In the distance, everything's continuing on down the road. Car turning at the road where we are going to turn. All right, so we've looked behind, we've recognised this car's well back from us. We're still going to signal a bit earlier. We've recognised there might be children in the area, so let's watch for them as we turn. And slow enough that we can stop for any pedestrian. Tiny little bit into the bike lane to help us make the turn. No pedestrians. Look to the end of the street as we come round. Clear road, so we're sitting over near the left. Continuing down the road, we're just going to stop at the curb. If there'd been a car waiting there, I would have waited till later for the signal. Already pre-picked my spot, coming down to stop at the curb. Nice and neat, keeping the driveway clear. Once I've stopped, handbrake on to hold the car in place, neutral, check it doesn't roll away, up into park, and then cancel the signal. Car's stopped and secured. Now we're going to hop out and turn off the camera.